Hey guys, it's Jessica here. I really appreciate you speaking with me this morning and accepting this free custom video. So I'm super excited that you did because we've applied the same strategies I'm about to go over with you with over 50 other restoration companies just like you guys, and it's made a huge impact in their business. Right now, you guys only have about 40 people organically landing on your website per month, and majority of that traffic are people specifically looking for you by name. And unfortunately, 90% of people who search don't know who you are yet, and so that's not what they're searching. So we need to really focus on the local keywords people are searching for your services. And so with such a large service area, you're missing out on over 80% of the available jobs every single month by just not having these strategies in place, okay? So when it comes to ranking on Google, content is key. And over the last 18 months, Google has made a ton of changes on what they want to see on those websites. And even in the last 60 to 90 days, there's been extreme volatility because there's been 3 additional algorithm changes. Okay, so we don't just need content anymore, we need the right type of content. Websites need to be mobile friendly, mobile first, and also people first. We used to be able to get away with just listing a bunch of services and keywords, feeding the algorithm, and that doesn't work anymore. Okay, so the type of content we have matters. So people who were ranking a couple months ago, lots of websites are no longer ranking or visible because of that flat content, not having the right type of content. Okay, so content and keyword strategy are going to be absolutely critical for you. Ease of navigation is also really, really important. Okay, you definitely want to have the proper navigation set up with your priority first. That tells Google what's the most important, what they need to know, and what they need to index first. Okay, so services first is good. You do need to have a separate page for all your major services, and it does look like you have that, so that is good. Google wants that because they want one designated page to tell your customers everything about that topic. And so that could be everything from water intrusion, how it happens, what to do when it happens, what type of equipment you use, what your processes are, and it allows you to showcase yourself as an expert and to have a good amount of content and good quality content built around what your customers are asking every single day and those local keywords, okay? Google has moved to an EEAT requirement. And so what they are looking for is expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trust. So you need those 4 factors in all your content throughout your pages of your website, okay? Now your home page here is the most important page because it's supposed to tie all your pages together, kind of telling Google what your entire website is about. And so this page needs at least 1,500 words or more of content. I'm not sure if this is just my browser or computer or if there's an issue going on here. You have something that said featured and then you just have this massive blank spot. Okay. We do have a little bit of information interlinking to your pages, so that's good. But there is 0 keyword strategy here, okay? We don't want to just go after national keywords, which would be like asbestos removal. That's a national keyword because you're not servicing the entire country. So we have to focus on the local keyword, and I cannot tell based on how this website and content is what your major service area is you're basing it out of. I don't know if it is Lincoln. I don't know if it's Sacramento. I don't know where we're basing that out of. So this homepage and all the services need to be based on that location. So, for instance, if it was Sacramento, it would be water damage Sacramento, Sacramento water damage restoration, Sacramento. Okay? Have to focus on those local keywords. Google is sending crawlers to your website to be able to index your pages and keywords. So crawlers are like little mini robots, and it scans all of this text information, every image, every video, to try and understand what you guys are about. What type of services do you offer, and where do you offer those services? So when you don't have that right content and keyword strategy, it's impossible for Google to be able to index you for those keywords and bring people to your website, okay? So your content keyword strategy is going to be really, really important. And having those separate pages for each of your service areas is also important, because Google is proximity based, okay? The problem is, and you do have tons of these service area pages, which is good. The problem is, this is basically all the same page. You guys are swapping out the maps, and then you have just this very generic information here, okay? And you're just swapping out a location. And then you guys do have this about in each city. And I understand why you would do that, because you do need to make these hyper local, so Google thinks you are actually in that location. But this is basically a page just about the city. None of these hyperlinks are actually linked on any of the pages, so these are all broken. And there's not actually any real information about your services in this area. So these pages should be more like a home page. It should be talking about all your major services with the local keywords for that area. So you need a keyword strategy for every single one of these pages, okay? So your content keyword strategy is absolutely critical for you guys. When we look at your top competitor in Sacramento, I went with Sacramento because I didn't know which one you were basing it out of. So in Sacramento, that would be ATI Restoration. Yes, they're a large corporation / franchise, but they are still beatable. You just have to do better. Okay, so that's more pages, more content. Most of these franchisees are not actually able to edit this content. They get this very generic pages. And so most of them don't actually do SEO because they can't fix what's wrong. So you just have to do better. More words on the page, better quality content, more pages, more long form blog articles, etc. And all of these guys are absolutely beatable when you do that. Now, if we look here, we know most people, when they do a search, they start with something like this. And when they do, there's 3 main areas that your website has a good opportunity to show up in. The first are generally going to be ads, and those are going to be your local service ads and cost per click ads. Both can be really lucrative if that is really what you want to do. As long as you have your processes dialed in, you got good budget set, you're using proper landing pages for those cost per click ads, so you'll actually have a good chance of conversion. If not, the ROI is just not going to be there. And then with ads, once you stop paying for them, the leads go away. Okay, so these other areas are actually more important because they don't rely on your ad spend. Now, this section here, this is your Google Maps, the map pack, your Google Business Profile. You need your profile to show up in the top 3 of your service area, because 30% of people skip everything else and come straight here. And so when your profile doesn't show up in the top 3, you're losing 30% of the revenue in that area. Okay. So in order to come up in this top 3, you do have to further optimize your profile and get citations, which is simply listing the name of the business, address, phone number, and website, and placing those in a bunch of directories like the Better Business Bureau, Yellow Pages, Glassdoor, Angie's, House, and even social media profiles. So we need more of those than our competitors as well. And when you do that, it will give you a good boost in the maps. And then this third section here is the most critical section. This is your organic section. This is so critical because 60 to 70% of people who search skip over the map, skip over the ads, and they come right here. So this is where your website has to show up. If not, you're losing 60 to 70% of the available jobs every single month for each of these services in each of those areas. Okay, so in order for your website to show up here, it comes back to the foundation of this website. Do you have the proper content and keyword strategy? And then are you supporting that with a backlink SEO strategy? So if we look here, this is a paid tool we use to tell us how a website is performing. And we can see you have a rating of a 12 with over 300 backlinks. This isn't terrible. Most of the websites we audit have much lower scores, but it also means that Google still doesn't quite trust your website. And that's because of the power we're sending to the website. So you have over 300 backlinks and only a score of a 12. That tells me we have quite a few in here that are kind of spammy and junky links that are doing more harm than good. So while as important as backlinks are, we only want to go after the good quality do follow links closely related to your services. So those are going to be coming from places like other home service businesses, related vendors, and directories. And as you get more of those good quality links, this score is going to continue to increase, and Google's going to trust you more and want to promote your website and help you rank those keywords, okay? Now, you have actually been indexed for 27 keywords, but you're only getting 40 people to your website organically, people that are actually searching for a term and landing on your website versus manually typing your website into the browser. Okay. And when we look at the keywords, you do have a couple here that are on the first page. So you got one in Lincoln, one in Turlock, one in Elk Grove, one in Concord. Okay. The majority of the traffic is actually coming from your brand. And again, 90% of people are not searching that. So we do have to hyper focus on your content and keyword strategy, okay? Now, when we look at your competitor, okay, ATI, we're not competing against with the entire company, just the local franchise. They're not really doing much SEO, which makes sense because they can't fix what's wrong. But this one single page for this Sacramento location, this is just one page, has 84 keywords indexed and is getting over 345 people to this single page of their website. Okay. And that is because they are ranking for all these keywords. They're in the top positions. The higher you rank, the more percentage of the search volume you're going to get to your website. With the highest positions can get over 30% of that volume. So in Sacramento, water damage Sacramento has 250 searches a month. Fire damage restoration Sacramento has 200 searches a month. So there is tons of search volume throughout your service area that you're missing out on by not having these strategies in place. So again, your competitors are absolutely beatable, and you can absolutely become more competitive and even outrank these guys one day, but you do have to apply the strategies that we've just gone over. I hope you found this information to be very helpful. Please feel free to take this information, run with it, and apply it yourself, and start helping more people in your community. But if you'd rather focus on what you do best and have a partner in growth, at Peterson SEO, this is our specialty, and we specialize in working with restoration companies just like you guys. Please feel free to ask any questions that you might have, reply to my email, or give us a call here, and we will be happy to chat. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.